Have you ever woken up gasping? Your chest tight, your eyes wide open, your mind still suspended between worlds. And for a fleeting second, you could swear someone had just been there? Maybe you felt their touch. Maybe you saw their face. Not clearly, but familiar enough to make your heart ache. Maybe you whispered their name into the dark, and the silence felt like an answer. Dreams. They're supposed to be random, just the mind sorting through memories, tossing images together like puzzle pieces from another life. That's what science says. But deep down, not every dream feels like a dream. Some feel like a message. Some feel like a visitation. Some feel like home. There are nights when the soul breaks through the limits of the body, when the heart and the subconscious become one doorway. And through that doorway, something or someone reaches you. Maybe you've had a dream that repeats itself over and over again. The same place, the same eyes, the same magnetic pull that defies logic. You tell yourself it's just your imagination, but the more you try to forget, the clearer it becomes. It's as if the dream is chasing you. Let me tell you something that few people realize. The soul doesn't sleep when you do. When your body rests, your consciousness expands. It slips out lightly, softly, into the realm of symbols, frequencies, and memories that don't belong to this lifetime. That's where they can reach you. Your higher self, your twin flame, your spirit guide, or sometimes, a soul that carries unfinished energy with yours. They say the universe speaks in signs. But before the signs appear in your waking world, they whisper to you in dreams. A glance across the stars, place you've never been, yet feels familiar. A touch that lingers in your body long after you wake. If you've ever had that, you're not imagining it. You're remembering something your soul already knows. There's a kind of dream that doesn't fade with morning light. It stays heavy, electric, magnetic. You can still feel the air, the scent, the emotion. You replay it again and again, hoping to decode what it means. But here's the truth most people miss. Dreams like that aren't meant to be solved. They're meant to be felt. Because through feeling, the message is revealed. Think about it. Why would your mind conjure the same face again and again, with such tenderness, such sorrow, such depth that even reality feels dull in comparison? Why does your body react as if it remembers the warmth of a hand that never touched you in waking life? Why does your heart race when you see someone who looks like them, even for a split second, in the crowd, in a dream, in a memory that doesn't belong to this timeline? Because the soul doesn't follow time. It recognizes vibration. It remembers energy. And sometimes it travels through dreams to reconnect with the ones it once loved beyond dimensions. In ancient traditions, dreams were sacred gateways, portals between the seen and the unseen. They were never dismissed as just dreams. They were messages from ancestors, from spirit, from destiny itself. Even modern quantum physics now hints that consciousness may exist beyond the body. That energy can communicate across time and space. So what if your dream isn't just a movie of the mind, but a meeting between souls? In a place where distance doesn't exist? Imagine this. You close your eyes, and your soul steps out, light as breath, carried by frequency, drawn to another being vibrating in harmony with yours. You meet them not with words, but with energy. Not with touch, but with recognition. A look, a feeling, a presence that says, "You know me." That's why you wake up crying without knowing why. That's why your chest aches as if something sacred has been ripped open. That's why your mind keeps searching for someone it can't quite name. Because that dream was never fiction. It was memory of a moment your soul never forgot. But here's the paradox. Dreams are both mirrors and messages. They don't just reveal the other person. They reveal you. When a soul reaches you through a dream, they often carry what you need to see in yourself. Your longing, your fear, your tenderness, your strength. Every image, every sensation is a piece of your own energy reflected back. So before you ask, why do they keep appearing? Ask instead, what part of me are they trying to awaken? Maybe they appear to remind you that you still believe in connection, even after heartbreak. Maybe they come to remind you that love never dies. It only changes form. Or maybe they come simply to tell you that you are not alone in this. journey, that even in silence, the soul is never separate. So tonight, when you close your eyes, don't run from the dream. Don't try to control it or label it. Just listen. Let the images unfold. Like sacred film, a language older than words. Feel what they stir inside you. Ask your higher self, what is this dream trying to show me about love, about loss, about me? Because the moment you stop chasing the dream and start feeling it, the truth begins to speak. The truth that dreams are not random, that visions are not fantasy, that signs are not coincidence. They are the soul's way of saying, I am still here. I am still listening. I am still connected to you. Music shifts to warm golden tones. When you learn to listen to your dreams, you begin to remember who you are. Beyond your name, your story, your wounds, you begin to sense that every face you see in a dream is a fragment of your infinite self, reminding you that love transcends the limits of time, body, and form. So if tonight, you feel their presence again, if you wake up with tears in your eyes or warmth in your chest, don't fear it. Whisper thank you, because somewhere, in the vast web of energy that binds us all, two souls just met again. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what needed to happen for your next chapter of awakening to begin. The dream isn't asking you to remember them. It's asking you to remember yourself. Have you ever noticed a dream that keeps coming back? Not exactly the same, but close enough that you recognize it instantly. The same place, the same feeling, the same presence standing just beyond reach. You wake up, shake it off, tell yourself it's just a coincidence. But nights later it returns. And again, and again. At some point, you realize this isn't random. It's a pattern. And patterns are the language of the soul. Dreams repeat for one of two reasons. Either the message hasn't been understood yet, or the energy hasn't been released. When the soul wants your attention, it doesn't shout. It whispers. And if you don't listen, it whispers again and again until the echo becomes impossible to ignore. So ask yourself, what keeps repeating in your dreams? Is it a place, person, a feeling that leaves you hollow when you wake? Or maybe an unfinished moment, a sentence never spoken, a door you never opened? These are not accidents. They are invitations. In spiritual psychology, dreams are not events, they're reflections. Your subconscious mind, your higher self, your soul, all speaking at once in a language made of light, memory, and symbol. You see, the soul doesn't use words. It speaks in vibrations, images, and sensations. It shows you what logic cannot explain. So when a dream repeats, it's like your soul placing a marker on your path, saying, here, this is where the healing is waiting. Low hum transitions to gentle piano notes. Let's explore this deeper. Imagine a woman who dreams of walking down the same hallway night after night. The walls are endless, the lights flicker, and at the end, there's always a door locked. Every time she tries to open it, she wakes up. Years pass. Different houses, different jobs, different people. But the same dream follows her. One day she decides not to run. She meditates, writes down every detail, asks herself, what's behind that door? And one night the dream changes. This time, when she reaches the end of the hallway, the lock is gone. She opens it, and inside is her childhood room. A small version of herself sitting alone on the bed, waiting. Music swells gently, strings rising like breath. That's the power of repetition. It isn't punishment. It's remembrance. The dream wasn't about the hallway. It was about the part of her still waiting to be seen. The piece of her heart locked behind memory and fear. The soul will keep sending the same image until you face what's inside it. So if your dream keeps bringing you back to someone, ask, what energy ties us together? If it keeps returning you to a place, ask, what happened here that my body still remembers? If you keep hearing the same word, the same song, the same time on the clock, ask, what truth am I avoiding? Because dreams don't repeat to haunt you. They repeat to heal you. Think of the universe as a mirror hall. Every dream, every symbol, every vision reflecting your energy back at you. When a theme returns, it means your vibration is still resonating at that frequency. You can't ascend past it until you feel it. Not just think it, feel it. That's why some dreams are so vivid. They don't want to be forgotten. They want to be felt through. There's also another reason repeated dreams happen: soul contracts. Sometimes two souls share energy that transcends lifetimes. Even when their human forms are apart, their higher selves continue to meet in the astral. The dreams become their bridge, their meeting point beyond space and time. That's why you might dream of someone again and again, even after years of no contact. It's not obsession, it's resonance. And until that energy finds peace, through forgiveness, through release, through understanding, the dream remains open, like an unfinished conversation between souls. Many mystics say that the soul uses dreams as a classroom. When you can't hear your intuition in waking life, the universe moves the lesson into the night. That's when visions appear. Familiar eyes, familiar voices, familiar emotions. Not to confuse you, but to remind you of something sacred. Because even when you're asleep, the soul is still seeking alignment. Now let's talk about symbols. Every dream has its own alphabet, and it's written in the language of your subconscious. You dream of water? Ask yourself, what emotion am I drowning in or flowing with? You dream of doors? Ask, what opportunity or truth am I afraid to open? You dream of falling? Ask, where in life do I feel I've lost control? And if you dream of them, the person your heart can't forget, ask, what lesson about love, surrender, or self-worth is this soul trying to teach me now? Remember, dreams don't lie, but they do speak in metaphor. The challenge isn't to decode every detail, but to sense what the dream wants you to feel, because feeling is frequency, and frequency is how the soul speaks. Let's go deeper into this truth. When a dream repeats, it's not looping you, it's evolving you. Each time, a small detail changes, the color shifts, the dialogue extends, the setting transforms. These are signs that you are integrating the lesson. Your consciousness is moving closer to understanding what the soul already knows. It's like a melody replaying until you finally learn to sing it with your own voice. And once you understand, the dream will stop. Not because the connection disappears, but because the energy has completed its circle. That's how healing feels. Peaceful, not empty. Quiet, not gone. You'll know you've received the message when you wake up one morning and feel light. No confusion. No ache. Just gratitude. Because now you understand that the dream was never trying to pull you back. It was guiding you forward. Here's a question for you. If your soul could speak clearly in words, what do you think it would say right now? Maybe it would whisper, stop searching outside. The dream is inside you. Or maybe, the person you keep seeing isn't a stranger. They are a mirror. Because ultimately, all dreams lead to one revelation. You are the dreamer and the dreamed. Everything you chase within the vision is already alive inside your spirit. So, tonight, when you lie down and feel the world fading away, don't resist the patterns. Let them come. Let them teach. Let them show you what still needs to be seen. If the dream returns, welcome it. If the same face appears, greet it with compassion. If the same story unfolds, breathe into it. Because one day, that pattern will transform into a doorway. And when you walk through it, you'll realize you've been dreaming your way back home. The soul repeats what the mind refuses to understand. And once you finally listen, the dream becomes light. Music fades out completely, leaving a gentle chime echo. There is a moment, a thin line where dreams stop being dreams. 1 second you are asleep, floating in the familiar haze of nightly imagination. The next, something stirs, a presence, a scene, a feeling so vivid, so undeniable, that your soul knows. This is real. Visions. Not the fleeting fragments of nightly images, not the random fireworks of memory. An emotion, but something deeper. A doorway between worlds. Visions can arrive in many forms. Sometimes they are images that appear while your eyes are closed, even when awake. Sometimes they are sudden impressions, a face in the crowd, a flash of light, a song that cuts straight to your heart. Sometimes they are vivid extensions of a dream. The same hallway, the same gaze, now more luminous, more tangible. And just like dreams, visions carry messages. But unlike dreams, they speak directly to the waking mind. They demand attention. They demand acknowledgement. Consider the experience of a man who keeps seeing a river in his dreams. At first, it's just a river, flowing calm, distant. But one afternoon, he closes his eyes in meditation and suddenly, the river is there again. Not in sleep, but behind his eyelids while fully awake. He hears its flow, feels the temperature of the air, smells the wet earth. It is not imagination. It is a vision. He knows then that his soul is trying to communicate with him through something far beyond memory or logic. Dreams turn into visions when the veil between dimensions thins. When the physical mind quiets, the soul can extend beyond the body, interacting with energies that move freely across time, space, and consciousness. This is why some visions feel like memory, even of events you have never lived. You might see a landscape you've never visited, or a person whose energy feels inexplicably familiar. These are not coincidences. These are your soul recognizing a resonance, a vibration that mirrors your own essence. Visions are often accompanied by an emotional intensity that dreams rarely carry. A look in the eyes, a wordless understanding, a warmth, a shiver, a pull in the chest that says, "This matters. Pay attention." These are the moments when time seems to stretch and collapse simultaneously. A single second can feel like an eternity. A glance can contain the weight of lifetimes. And yet, visions are subtle. They do not always scream their importance. They arrive like whispers, like the brush of fingertips in the dark, like a shadow you sense before you see it. Have you ever been walking down a street and suddenly felt that someone was right behind you, only to turn and see nothing? Or heard a faint echo of a voice that no one spoke? Or caught a scent, fleeting and sweet, that reminded you of a memory you never had? These are echoes of the soul crossing dimensions. They are the continuation of the dream language you've been learning, now speaking in your waking life. Visions often serve as confirmation. They affirm that the repeated dream you have been experiencing is not random. They validate the energy patterns you've been noticing. They reveal the deeper truth behind the symbols. For example, a woman dreams repeatedly of a candle flickering in a dark room. She wakes each morning with the image burning in her mind. Weeks later, she is meditating, eyes closed, and sees the same candle, now surrounded by an aura of light. She feels peace. She feels understanding. She realizes the dream was not about darkness, but about the light that she carries within herself. Visions are clarity made manifest. Sometimes visions can be unsettling. They show you what you are not ready to face, or they bring forward emotions that you have buried. The soul does not always deliver comfort first. It delivers truth, and truth is always liberating, even when it burns. You may feel as though a vision reaches into your chest, pulls out the memories, the fears, the longing, and places them in your lap. And for a moment you are left naked, vulnerable, exposed. But this is exactly the point. The soul crosses dimensions not to scare you, but to guide you. It is here, in the space between dream and vision, that the soul teaches its most important lesson. You are never alone. Not in your longing, not in your loss, not in your search. Even if the person you see in a dream is long gone, even if the moment belongs to a lifetime past, even if the vision feels fleeting and intangible, it is proof of connection. Connection that is timeless. Connection that is beyond physical form. And just as dreams are repeated to teach patience and awareness, visions are repeated to teach presence. They remind you that life is not only what you see, but what you feel, what you resonate with. Sometimes your visions may appear in mundane moments. A reflection in a window, a shadow crossing your path, a fleeting sense of déjà vu. All of these are reminders that the soul is still communicating, still bridging, still teaching. They are the continuation of the dream's message, now vivid, immediate, undeniable. So, how do you receive these visions? How do you honor them? You must first learn to slow down, to quiet the mind, to trust the whispers between thoughts. Meditation, journaling, mindful observation. These are the tools that allow the dream to evolve into vision. Every detail matters. Every feeling matters. Even the tiniest emotion is a thread connecting you to higher frequencies. And when the vision fades, don't chase it. Let it linger in your heart. Let it seed insight, intuition, and healing. Because the soul is patient. It will return. Always. There will come a day when you realize that the visions were never separate from you. They were never out there. They were within, a mirror reflecting the infinite dimensions of your own consciousness. And when that moment arrives, you will see that every repeated dream, every flicker of light, every whisper of presence, was simply your soul, teaching you to recognize itself across time and space. Dreams open the doorway, visions illuminate the path, and your soul walks it silently with you always. Have you ever been walking down the street and suddenly felt a shiver run through your body, as if someone or something invisible had brushed past you? A sudden song plays on the radio that seems to echo your thoughts. A word appears repeatedly on signs in conversations, in books, in unexpected places. These are not coincidences. These are signs, messages from the soul that extend beyond dreams and visions, entering the waking world in ways that demand your attention. The universe has its own subtle language. It doesn't use words as we know them. It communicates in symbols, synchronicities, and vibrations that resonate with your inner being. When your soul has already connected with someone or something in dreams or visions, it often continues the dialogue through signs in your everyday life. For example, a woman dreams repeatedly of a white feather falling into her hands. Weeks later, she finds one lying on the sidewalk as she leaves the subway. Her heart races. Her mind wonders, coincidence? Or something more? Her soul recognizes it immediately. It's the same energy she encountered in the dream, the message now crossing the boundary into the physical world. Signs can appear in countless forms. A sudden flicker of light, an unexpected phone call, a song lyric that feels written for your soul, a stranger's words that pierce your heart with clarity. Even patterns of numbers 111, 222, 333, appearing with an uncanny frequency. These are not random. They are echoes of the same frequency that brought you dreams and visions. They are confirmations that the soul is listening, that the universe is aligning with your journey, that you are not alone. Many people dismiss these experiences, labeling them as coincidence, imagination, or overthinking. But here's the truth. The soul communicates constantly. It uses whatever medium is available, dreams, visions, thoughts, encounters, and signs, to guide, warn, inspire, and awaken you. Signs are most potent when your consciousness is open. They are subtle enough to be missed if you are rushing through life. But when you pause, notice, and feel, they become undeniable. Think of it like this. Your dreams and visions plant seeds. Signs are the fruits of those seeds in the waking world. They are reminders that the messages you received in sleep are not imaginary, that the energy you felt is real, and it wants to be integrated into your life. Let's explore some common ways the soul speaks through signs. Synchronicities. These are moments when the universe seems to align perfectly around you. The right person appears at the right time. The right opportunity presents itself seemingly by chance. Numbers, songs, or phrases repeat with uncanny frequency. These moments are not luck. They are the soul confirming your path, your choices, or your next steps. Repeating symbols, animals, objects, colors, or even weather patterns can carry meaning. A butterfly landing near you after a dream about transformation. A red door appearing in your life after dreaming of new opportunities. These symbols act as bridges between your inner world and external reality. Physical sensations. Sometimes signs are felt rather than seen. A sudden warmth in your chest. Goosebumps. A chill down your spine. These are energy signatures, the soul nudging you, reminding you, guiding you. Intuitive nudges. The universe often communicates through your intuition. A feeling of certainty even when logic says otherwise. A sudden knowing, a subtle pull. These intuitive nudges are signs your soul uses to help you navigate unseen dimensions. The key to receiving signs is awareness. Notice the unusual coincidences. Pay attention to repeated symbols. Listen to the subtle whispers in your body. And most importantly, trust. Trust that these experiences are not random. Trust that your soul is guiding you. Trust that the universe is alive with intelligence, waiting for you to tune in. Here's an exercise you can try. Before you sleep, ask a question in your heart. It could be about love, purpose, clarity, or healing. Keep your mind still. When you wake, pay attention to what appears, a thought, a dream, a song, a sign. Write it down. Repeat this practice over time. You'll notice patterns emerging. The signs will become more obvious. And over time, you'll realize that the soul has been speaking all along, through layers of subtle energy, guiding you to your highest path. There is a beautiful interconnectedness between dreams, visions, and signs. Dreams are the doorway. Visions are the bridge. Signs are the guidance along the path. When you recognize this pattern, life itself begins to feel magical. No longer random. No longer lonely. No longer disconnected. Every encounter, every moment, every coincidence becomes infused with meaning. You begin to notice the invisible threads that connect you to everyone, everything, and every experience. And here's the most profound part. Signs are not only about guidance. They are about awakening. They remind you that your soul is eternal, that love transcends time and space, that the energy of connection, the energy of your soul, is always present, always alive. Even if the person who appeared in your dreams is far away, even if the vision seemed fleeting, even if the sign was as subtle as a breeze on your cheek, it is all real. It is all intentional. It is all a reflection of the infinite intelligence within you. Pause, gentle exhale, heartbeat slows. So tonight, when you walk through your day, be mindful. Notice the small things. Notice the patterns. Notice the moments that feel like magic. When a repeated dream leads to a vision, and a vision unfolds into a sign, you are witnessing the soul's conversation with you. And when you finally begin to understand this language, you will feel the world shift around you. Life will no longer feel random. It will feel guided, sacred, alive. The universe speaks through dreams, visions, and signs. Listen, feel, trust. Your soul is always speaking, and the world is always answering. Have you ever met someone and felt like you already knew them? Even if you have never seen them before? Even if logic insists they are a stranger? Or perhaps a face appears in your dreams again and again, or in visions luminous and unmistakable, or as a subtle presence in your waking life. And each time it leaves you with a sense of recognition, a stirring in your chest, a feeling that transcends memory. These are not accidents. These are echoes of the soul. Repeated encounters with familiar energy are the universe's way of saying, you are connected. You are not alone. Pay attention. We live in a world that often dismisses these feelings as coincidence. But the soul operates on a frequency that transcends time, space, and even physical form. It recognizes resonance. It recognizes energy patterns that are familiar across lifetimes. This is why some people feel magnetic, even unexplainably so. Why certain voices linger in your mind long after they have spoken. Why a look or a gesture can stir a memory that doesn't belong to this life. Repeated encounters often serve as lessons, mirrors, or confirmations. They may carry the energy of healing. The soul often brings people into your life to heal past wounds. You may feel tension, sadness, or unresolved emotion when encountering them. But beneath that discomfort is an opportunity for understanding and closure. Perhaps they reflect a part of yourself that you have neglected, or a truth you have avoided. Guidance. Familiar energy can be a guide, gently nudging you toward a choice, a path, or an awakening. They may appear when you feel lost or uncertain. Their presence reminds you, you are not walking this journey alone. Activation. Sometimes these repeated presences spark transformation. They awaken dormant qualities, courage, intuition, creativity, love. You may feel inspired, energized, or compelled to act in ways that shape your life. Let's consider an example. A man dreams of a woman standing by a tree at sunrise. He has never met her in this life, yet her eyes feel familiar. Night after night, the dream repeats with subtle variations. The tree changes color, the light shifts, the wind moves differently. Then one day, walking through a park, he sees a woman sitting beneath a tree, reading. Her energy feels exactly like the dream. His heart races. A sense of déjà vu overwhelms him. This is no accident. This is recognition. The soul is signaling resonance across dimensions, drawing him closer to a lesson, a connection, or an awakening he has yet to fully understand. Familiar energy is also deeply connected to the concept of soul contracts. These are agreements made between souls before incarnating. Agreements to meet, to teach, to learn, or to heal. When you encounter someone whose energy feels familiar, it may be the fulfillment of a contract, a continuation of a story that began long before your current life. Sometimes these encounters feel comforting. Other times they are challenging. They may evoke fear, frustration, longing, or unresolved pain. The intensity of the encounter often indicates the significance of the lesson. There are also encounters that are fleeting but powerful. A glance from a stranger, a word spoken by someone you just met, a presence in a crowded room. All can carry meaning if you attune to it. The key is awareness. Notice the subtle shifts in energy. Pay attention to how your body reacts. Listen to your intuition. Because your body remembers what your mind may forget. It registers energy, vibration, and resonance, even when your conscious mind does not. Another way the soul communicates through repeated encounters is mirroring. People often appear in your life not only to teach, but to reflect your inner world. A friend who seems critical may mirror your own self-judgment. A romantic interest who challenges you may reflect the love or boundaries you are yet to cultivate within yourself. A stranger whose presence feels oddly familiar may embody qualities of your higher self, or aspects of your shadow waiting to be integrated. Mirroring is a gentle invitation. It asks you to look inward, to examine patterns, to heal what is unseen. Sometimes these encounters appear as energy without form, a feeling that someone is watching over you, guiding you, or protecting you, a sensation that a loved one who has passed is near, a sense of being called or drawn toward a place, an object, or a person. These experiences are as real as the air you breathe. The soul communicates beyond form, through vibration, emotion, and energy. Recognizing these presences requires attunement, slowing down, opening your heart, and trusting the subtle language of the universe. So how do you work with these repeated encounters? Observe without judgment. Notice your reactions. Notice your feelings. Avoid labeling them as coincidence or imagination. Record your experiences. Journaling dreams, visions, and encounters creates a map of your soul's communication. Over time, patterns emerge, revealing guidance and insight. Reflect on the lessons. Ask yourself, what is this person, moment, or energy reflecting about me? What am I meant to see, feel, or release? Integrate the wisdom. Take the insight from these encounters and apply it in your life. Healing, growth, and awakening occur when recognition transforms into understanding. Repeated encounters and familiar energy are invitations from your soul to awaken to the deeper truths of life. They are proof that you are not isolated. Proof that love, guidance, and wisdom extend beyond the limitations of time and space. And perhaps most importantly, they remind you that connection is eternal. Across dreams, visions, and waking life, the soul weaves a tapestry of meaning, resonance, and guidance. It reaches through dimensions to communicate with you, to support you, to awaken you. Tonight, when someone appears familiar, or when a dream or vision resurfaces, or when a subtle sign crosses your path, remember it is a thread of the soul, woven from the infinite fabric of the universe. Notice it, honor it, feel it, because repeated encounters are not random. They are sacred. They are intentional. They are a conversation between your soul and the universe. A dialogue that continues always until the lesson is understood, and the energy is fully recognized and integrated. The souls we meet repeatedly are mirrors, guides, and messengers. Pay attention. Listen with your heart. The universe is always speaking, and every encounter is a word in its language. Have you ever noticed patterns in your life that feel too precise to be random? A number that appears repeatedly, 1111, 222, 333. A sequence of events that seems orchestrated, guiding you without explanation. Or a symbol, an animal, a color, a shape that recurs in dreams, visions, or waking life. These are not coincidences. These are messages. Messages written in the language of the universe, waiting for your awareness to decode them. Symbols are the soul's alphabet. Synchronicities are the punctuation. Numbers are the numerology of energy vibrations given form. Together they form a cosmic dialogue. a way for the invisible world to communicate with your consciousness. Let's start with symbols. Symbols appear everywhere. In dreams, visions, nature, and everyday life. They are bridges between your conscious mind and the subtle energy of the universe. A black cat may not be an omen of misfortune. It may represent mystery, independence, or intuition. A butterfly may not be a coincidence. It may signify transformation, growth, or a soul crossing. Symbols often recur because they carry a vibration that resonates with your current life lesson. Your soul notices these vibrations and draws them to your attention. A symbol can appear as a repeated dream motif, a vision, or in the physical world. A sign that you are aligned with a particular energy or being guided toward insight. Then there are synchronicities, coined by Carl Jung. Synchronicity is the meaningful coincidence that defies logic. It is a message hidden in the alignment of events. Consider this. You think of a friend you haven't contacted in years. Minutes later, they call. You dream of a song, and the next day it plays on the radio at the perfect moment. You notice a phrase on a billboard that directly answers a question you were pondering. These are not mere coincidences. They are signs that your inner world and the outer world are communicating. They are confirmations that your path is aligned with your soul's journey. Numbers are another profound way the universe speaks. Certain numbers carry vibrational meanings that are universally recognized. 111 or 1111, alignment, awakening, and manifestation. 222, balance, trust, and the presence of guiding energies. 333, encouragement, protection, and alignment with higher purpose. 444, stability, support, and reassurance that you are not alone. 555, transformation, change, and evolution in your life. When numbers appear repeatedly, on clocks, receipts, license plates, or phone notifications, they are signals. The universe is nudging you, calling your attention to an energy or message you need to acknowledge. Symbols, synchronicities, and numbers often overlap. A recurring number may appear alongside a repeated symbol. A synchronicity may highlight a number or shape. These layers create a multidimensional language, waiting for your conscious awareness to decode it. Here's an example. A woman dreams of a white dove each night for a week. In the same period, she keeps noticing the number 222 on receipts, clocks, and street signs. One afternoon, walking through a park, a dove lands on a branch in front of her. Her heart leaps. Her intuition whispers trust, balance, guidance. The dream, the synchronicities, and the numbers converge into a single message. It is unmistakable. It is her soul speaking through layers of energy. To interpret these messages, you must first cultivate awareness. Observe patterns. Begin by noticing recurring symbols, numbers, or coincidences in your dreams and waking life. Keep a journal. Write down every detail, feeling, and sensation. Over time, patterns will emerge, revealing guidance and insight. Feel the energy. Symbols and signs carry vibration. Your emotional response to them is part of the message. A symbol may evoke calm, fear, excitement, or curiosity. Pay attention. Your body is decoding the message before your mind understands it. Ask and receive. Before sleep or meditation, ask your soul for guidance. A specific question, a life decision, or a moment of clarity. Watch for symbols, synchronicities, and numbers in response. Trust what appears. Reflect and integrate. Consider what the recurring symbols or numbers may signify in your life. What energy or lesson is being highlighted? How can you apply this insight to your waking life, relationships, or personal growth? It is also important to remember, not every sign has an immediate answer. Some messages unfold over days, weeks, or even years. Patience and trust are essential. The universe communicates in its own rhythm. Your role is to be aware, receptive, and open. Symbols, synchronicities, and numbers can also serve as confirmation. After a dream or vision, they reinforce the message, giving tangible evidence in the waking world that you are on the right path. For instance, a man dreams of crossing a bridge, hesitant but determined. Days later, he sees a photograph of the same bridge in a magazine, accompanied by a quote about courage. He feels reassured. His soul, the universe, is guiding him forward. And sometimes these signs appear in subtle ways. A song lyric that seems written for your current life situation. A line in a book that resonates deeply. A conversation overheard in a cafe that sparks insight. All of these are part of the hidden language of the universe. All of these are invitations to awaken, to listen, and to align. Ultimately, symbols, synchronicities, and numbers are tools of the soul. They bridge the inner and outer worlds. They provide guidance, reassurance, and connection. They remind us that life is alive with meaning, that the universe is intelligent, and that our souls are constantly in dialogue with all that is. Tonight, when you notice a number repeating, a symbol appearing, or a synchronicity unfolding, pause, observe, feel, trust, because every symbol is a word, every synchronicity is a sentence, and every number is a note in the grand conversation between your soul and the universe. The universe speaks in symbols, numbers, and synchronicities. Open your heart, listen with your soul, and watch as the hidden messages reveal the path meant for you. Have you ever walked into a room and felt a presence before seeing anyone? Have you ever sensed someone near you, a loved one, a guide, or even a stranger, without explanation? Have you experienced the sudden warmth, the brush of air, or the inexplicable shiver that makes the ordinary feel extraordinary? These are not illusions. They are the touch of presence, the subtle, tangible expression of the soul, reaching out across dimensions, bridging dreams, visions, and waking life. The universe communicates constantly, not only through symbols, numbers, and synchronicities, but also through energy, the vibration of consciousness itself. Energy can be felt, intuited, and sometimes even touched in the most delicate, fleeting ways. This is how souls communicate when words, forms, or images are not enough. Consider this. A woman dreams of her grandmother who passed years ago, smiling and offering a warm embrace. Weeks later, while sitting alone at her desk, she suddenly feels a gentle warmth on her shoulder. No one is there. No breeze passes. Her heart swells and she instinctively knows her grandmother is near, her energy present, her love tangible. The touch of presence is subtle but unmistakable. It can appear as physical sensations, goosebumps, tingling, warmth, chills, or the feeling of being lightly brushed. These are the body's way of detecting energy that exists beyond the ordinary senses. Intuitive nudges, a sudden sense of knowing, a hunch that proves true, a feeling of guidance without explanation. These nudges are the soul speaking, directing, and supporting you. Emotional resonance, feeling joy, comfort, or love that seems to come from nowhere. Sensing empathy or sorrow from someone absent. Recognizing energy that mirrors your own inner state. The souls that reach out through presence can be loved ones who have passed. Their energy lingers, subtly guiding, comforting, and reminding you that love transcends physical separation. Spirit guides or higher consciousness, beings who offer wisdom, protection, and insight, helping you navigate the unseen currents of your life. Other souls, people in your life whose energy resonates with your own across time and space, sometimes appearing unexpectedly, sometimes through repeated encounters. Learning to recognize these presences requires attunement. It is not about force, imagination, or wishful thinking. It is about slowing down, opening your senses, and listening to what your body and intuition already know. Here are some practical ways to connect with subtle presence. Mindful observation. Begin noticing the energy around you. Pay attention to subtle shifts, the way air feels, the fleeting impressions, or the inexplicable tug at your heart. The more you observe, the more you notice patterns of presence. Meditation and stillness. Quiet your mind. Focus on your breath. Allow yourself to feel the energy around you. Souls often communicate in silence, and meditation creates the space for recognition. Dream integration. Many presences first appear in dreams or visions. Record your dreams. Reflect on recurring faces, symbols, and emotions. Ask yourself if these presences are showing up in your waking life in subtle ways. Body awareness. Your body is a receiver. Tingling sensations, sudden warmth, or goosebumps may indicate the presence of energy. Trust these feelings, they are often the clearest confirmation of subtle communication. Let's consider a story. A man frequently dreams of a wolf appearing at twilight, standing silently but watching him. First, he dismisses it. Weeks later, while hiking, he senses a presence behind him. Turning, he sees nothing, yet a sudden warmth and clarity settle in his chest. Later that evening, a wolf crosses his path, pausing and looking directly at him before disappearing into the forest. This was no accident. The wolf was a guide, a presence communicating strength, intuition, and protection. Through dreams, visions, and waking signs, the soul had been orchestrating a series of experiences to awaken him to courage and inner wisdom. Soft ambient soundscape, wind, faint heartbeat, distant chimes. Presence can also be experienced through mirror energy. People sometimes carry the energy of someone from a dream, vision, or spiritual connection. You may feel the touch of their presence even if they are not physically near. A glance, a word, a shared silence can transmit energy across space, bridging the unseen. One of the most powerful aspects of presence is its ability to heal and comfort. A sudden feeling of love, warmth, or reassurance can calm anxiety, relieve grief, and offer guidance. Even if you cannot see, hear, or touch the source, the energy itself carries a profound message. You are not alone. You are supported. You are loved. Some may ask, how do I know it's real? Here's the answer. It is not the mind that discerns reality. It is the body, heart, and soul. Subtle presences are felt through resonance, not logic. If your body reacts, your heart responds, or your intuition whispers, then the presence is real. The touch of presence is also a reminder that life itself is alive. The universe, consciousness, and all souls are interconnected. Every encounter, every sensation, every subtle sign is a thread in the tapestry of connection. The energy you feel is not limited by form, location, or time. It is eternal, infinite, and deeply personal. So tonight, as you move through life, pause. Notice the subtle energies. Feel the warmth of presence. Trust the whispers of your body, intuition, and heart. The soul is always reaching out. It speaks in dreams, in visions, in signs, and in the delicate brush of energy that you feel but cannot always see. Every touch, every shiver, every intuitive nudge is a message, a conversation across dimensions. The universe speaks through presence. Feel it in the warmth on your skin, the shiver in your spine, the intuition in your heart. Your soul is never silent. Your guides, your loved ones, and your own higher self are always reaching out, waiting for you to feel, recognize, and awaken. Have you ever woken from the same dream multiple times, night after night? Or noticed the same event, pattern, or emotion repeating in your waking life? Perhaps the same song appears on the radio, the same phrase crosses your path, or the same challenge presents itself in different forms. These repetitions are not coincidences. They are messages. Messages from the soul, whispered through the rhythm of experience, echoing across dreams, visions, and waking life. Recurring experiences are the universe's way of saying, pay attention. Notice the pattern. There is meaning here. In dreams, repetition is a signal. When a dream returns night after night, it carries unresolved energy. It may point to unprocessed emotion. A recurring dream often surfaces from emotions left unacknowledged, grief, fear, longing, or desire. The soul presents it repeatedly, gently urging recognition and release. Life lessons. Patterns repeat to teach a lesson. A dream of falling, for example, may indicate the need to trust in life, surrender control, or face fear. A recurring dream of being chased may reflect avoidance of an issue in waking life. Activation and transformation. Repetition is a call to action. The dream, experience, or vision may be awakening dormant potential within you. Creativity, courage, intuition, or spiritual awareness. Consider this example. A woman dreams of walking through a dense forest at twilight. In the first dream, she feels lost and fearful. In the second, she notices a faint light in the distance. By the third dream, she walks confidently toward the light, no longer anxious. Each repetition is a step, a progression. Her subconscious and her soul are guiding her toward clarity, courage, and insight. Recurring experiences are not limited to dreams. They manifest in waking life as patterns of events, encounters, or feelings. Perhaps you continually meet people who challenge your boundaries, or you face repeated situations that test your patience or resilience, or you notice a recurring number, symbol, or phrase. These repetitions carry meaning. They are lessons, confirmations, and invitations. The universe uses repetition to draw your awareness to what matters most. Understanding repetition requires attunement, listening beyond logic. Notice the pattern. Observe what repeats. Is it a dream, a number, a phrase, a feeling, or an event? Record these occurrences. Patterns reveal the hidden message. Reflect on the emotion. How does the repetition make you feel? Often, your emotional response is the key to decoding the message. Ask your soul. Before sleep or meditation, ask, what am I meant to learn from this recurring dream or experience? Then, pay attention. Signs and insights will appear, sometimes subtly, sometimes powerfully. Integrate the message. Take the insight and apply it. Repetition continues until the lesson is recognized and integrated. The soul is patient but persistent. Recurring dreams often contain archetypal symbols, universal images that carry deep meaning. Water represents emotion, intuition, or spiritual depth. Bridges signify transition, choice, or transformation. Fire embodies passion, destruction, or renewal. Animals often symbolize instincts, guides, or aspects of the self. When these symbols appear repeatedly, they are magnified. They call attention to their message, asking you to explore, reflect, and act. Repetition can also reveal hidden connections between your inner and outer worlds. Events may repeat in dreams before appearing in waking life. Synchronicities may mirror recurring dreams, creating a web of meaning across dimensions. This is the soul orchestrating experiences to awaken awareness and facilitate growth. Consider another example. A man dreams of standing on a cliff, wind whipping around him. He wakes unsettled, yet reflective. Weeks later, he faces a critical life decision, a career change, and notices the same feeling of standing on the edge, wind on his face, uncertainty, and anticipation. The recurring dream prepared him, emotionally and spiritually, for the challenge ahead. The soul often repeats experiences to highlight unresolved or unacknowledged patterns. Perhaps a recurring dream features conflict with a family member. In waking life, that same conflict may arise until forgiveness, understanding, or communication occurs. Perhaps a recurring dream evokes fear of falling or failure. In waking life, opportunities for courage and trust will appear. It's also important to recognize positive repetition, recurring dreams or experiences that bring joy, insight, or reassurance. Dreams of flying may indicate freedom, empowerment, or spiritual elevation. Repeated encounters with supportive people may signify guidance, love, or confirmation. Seeing a recurring symbol of light or a path may affirm alignment with your soul's journey. Repetition is both teacher and messenger. It asks for attention, reflection, and action. The more you honor it, the more the messages become clear. The universe communicates persistently, patiently, and creatively. Finally, remember, the meaning of repetition is personal. A recurring symbol, dream, or event may carry different significance for each individual. Trust your intuition, your emotional response, and your inner knowing. Your soul communicates uniquely with you through the patterns and repetitions of your life. Tonight, when a dream repeats, when an event mirrors itself, or when a number or symbol appears once again, pause. Observe. Feel. Reflect. Ask your soul, what am I meant to understand from this repetition? The answer may arrive immediately, subtly, or gradually, but it will come. Repetition is the language of the soul. Pay attention, trust your intuition, and allow the patterns to guide you. The universe is speaking through rhythm, cycles, and echoes, waiting for you to listen. Have you ever felt a presence in a room when no one is there? Have you sensed a comforting warmth, a familiar energy, or even a whispered thought that feels impossibly real? Perhaps it was a fleeting touch, a sudden shiver, or a song that played unexpectedly, carrying with it the unmistakable feeling of someone you loved who has passed. These are not accidents. They are silent whispers from the soul. The souls of those who have left this earthly plane do not disappear. They linger. They guide, and they reach across the veil to communicate with those they love. Recognizing these subtle presences requires openness and attunement. Our loved ones often communicate through Nonverbal signs, the gentle brushing of air, repeated symbols, or synchronous events. They also appear in dreams where time, space, and form become fluid, allowing a connection beyond physical limitations. Let's begin with dreams. Dreams are a bridge between the conscious mind and the subtle realms. They allow the soul of the living and the departed to meet, converse, and share energy. A recurring dream of a deceased loved one is often a soul-to-soul message. The dream may be literal, seeing their face, hearing their voice, or symbolic, using imagery and metaphors to convey guidance. Consider this example. A young woman dreams repeatedly of her late grandmother standing by a window, holding a candle. In the waking world, she is facing uncertainty in her career and life choices. Each night, the grandmother's presence in the dream brings comfort, and the candlelight illuminates a path, symbolizing clarity, wisdom, and reassurance. Over time, the woman begins to notice small signs in her daily life: a flicker of candlelight in the evening, a soft warmth near her chair, even the scent of lavender, her grandmother's favorite. These signs reinforce the dream's message. She is supported, guided, and never alone. Dreams are not the only medium. Deceased loved ones also communicate through intuitive signs and synchronicities in waking life. Physical sensations, a sudden warmth, a shiver, or the feeling of a gentle touch can signal presence. These sensations are often accompanied by an emotional response: calm, love, reassurance, or nostalgia. Auditory signs, a song, a phrase, or even the faint sound of a familiar voice can carry messages. Perhaps a song plays randomly on the radio at a significant moment, evoking memories and guidance. Visual cues and objects, butterflies, birds, feathers, or lights appearing unexpectedly, may be the soul's way of signaling presence. Objects associated with the loved one, a photograph, a piece of clothing, or a personal belonging, may appear in ways that feel uncanny or orchestrated. Recognizing these signs requires mindfulness and reflection. The universe often speaks softly, and our loved ones communicate in subtle whispers. You must learn to slow down, observe, and feel. Ask yourself, how did this experience make me feel? Did it carry warmth, comfort, or guidance? Is there a repeated pattern or symbol associated with this presence? Some signs are direct and literal. A dream may contain a clear message: I am with you. Trust yourself. You are not alone. Other signs are symbolic, requiring interpretation through intuition, personal connection, and the resonance of your heart. Consider another example. A man loses his father unexpectedly. Months later, he begins seeing dandelion seeds drifting in the wind in unusual places, outside the office, on his morning walk, even inside his home. He recalls that his father loved dandelions and always said they were a reminder of life's beauty and impermanence. Through these repeated signs, he senses reassurance, love, and guidance, the soul communicating across dimensions, silently but unmistakably. Deceased loved ones also reach out through intuitive impressions, sudden insights, vivid memories, or premonitions that carry their essence. You may hear them in your mind, feel their encouragement, or receive guidance during moments of need. These impressions often arrive unexpectedly, in stillness, or during meditation. They are subtle yet profoundly real to those who are open to perception. To attune to these presences, practice the following. Create sacred space. Light a candle, burn incense, or play soft music. Create a space of calm where your senses are open and distractions minimal. Meditate and breathe. Focus on your breath and center your awareness. Visualize a connection with the loved one's energy. Feel their warmth, love, and guidance. Invite the presence. Speak silently or aloud. I welcome your presence. I am open to your guidance and love. Intention is powerful. By inviting them consciously, you increase the likelihood of recognizing their subtle communications. Record experiences. Keep a journal of dreams, signs, and intuitive impressions. Over time, patterns emerge, messages clarify, and connections deepen. Sometimes the presence of a deceased loved one is comforting and reassuring. Other times it is guiding through challenges, prompting reflection, or signaling change. Both are equally valuable. The soul communicates according to your life's rhythm, meeting you where you are. It is also important to honor your emotional response. Feelings of joy, relief, nostalgia, or even grief are natural and part of the connection. Allow emotions to flow. The presence of the soul often carries healing energy, bridging the gap between loss and acceptance. Consider this story. A woman mourns the sudden loss of her brother. One night, she dreams of him walking along a quiet shore, tossing stones into the water. In the dream, he looks at her and smiles. When she wakes, she finds a small, smooth stone on her windowsill, something she never placed there. Tears stream down her face, not from sadness, but from recognition. He is present, he loves her, and he watches over her. Ultimately, the presence of deceased loved ones reminds us that life and love transcend physical boundaries. Dreams, visions, and intuitive experiences are channels through which souls communicate, gently, persistently, and meaningfully. The souls we love never truly leave. They speak in dreams, signs, and whispers of energy. Slow down, open your heart, and listen. Their presence is real, their guidance profound, and their love eternal. We have journeyed together through the mysterious corridors of the mind and spirit, exploring dreams, visions, signs, and the subtle whispers of the soul. We have learned to recognize the presence of loved ones, the messages hidden in repetition, and the energy that communicates beyond words. But the journey does not end with awareness. Recognition is only the first step. The true power of these experiences lies in integration, weaving the messages of the soul into the fabric of your daily life. Integration is the bridge between insight and transformation. It is the conscious act of allowing what you perceive in dreams, visions, and signs to shape your thoughts, actions, and choices. It transforms fleeting moments of wonder into lasting change. Consider this. A man dreams repeatedly of walking along a bridge suspended above a foggy valley. In each dream, he hesitates, unsure if he should cross. Through reflection, meditation, and journaling, he realizes the bridge symbolizes a decision he must make, leaving an unfulfilling career to pursue his true passion. Finally, empowered by the recurring dream, he takes the leap in waking life. The bridge is crossed. The insight becomes reality. To integrate soul messages into daily life, begin with reflection. Ask yourself, what recurring dreams or visions have captured my attention? Which feelings, symbols, or sensations continue to appear in my life? What guidance or message might my soul be offering? Through these experiences, reflection is the doorway to understanding. By consciously observing patterns, your soul's whispers begin to make sense. Next comes embodied action. Messages from the soul are not meant to remain in the abstract. They call for real-world responses, shifts in behavior, new habits, or conscious decisions. Examples of embodied action include healing relationships. A recurring dream of reconciliation or a vision of a loved one may urge you to mend a broken bond. Reach out with compassion. Speak your truth. Listen deeply. Personal growth. Dreams of flying, leaping, or moving through obstacles may signify untapped potential or hidden courage. Engage in activities that challenge and expand your abilities. Spiritual practice. Regular meditation, journaling, or ritual can solidify the connection between soul guidance and daily life. Create a practice that honors the messages you receive. Integration also involves trusting your intuition. When signs appear, a familiar song, a fleeting sensation, a repeated number, pause. Listen. Reflect. Allow your inner knowing to guide your response. The more you honor intuition, the more the messages become clear, consistent, and actionable. Consider a real-life example. A woman dreams repeatedly of her deceased grandmother giving her a small key. First, the dream feels puzzling. She notices in her waking life an opportunity to take a course she had long desired, one that requires a symbolic key in the form of a prerequisite skill. Following her intuition, she enrolls, and the course unlocks new understanding, confidence, and opportunities. The dream was guidance. The key was a call to action. Integration turned insight into reality. Another important aspect of integration is recognizing synchronicities. Life often mirrors the patterns observed in dreams and visions. Pay attention to repeated events, numbers, or encounters. These are confirmations, threads connecting soul messages to tangible life experiences. A repeated number on clocks, receipts, or addresses may signal attention to timing or alignment. An unexpected meeting with a particular person may carry the guidance first shown in a dream or vision. Patterns of emotion, joy, anxiety, or awe may highlight areas needing attention, healing, or celebration. Integration is not about perfection. It is not about forcing every insight into a rigid plan. It is about alignment, presence, and conscious participation in life. Ask yourself, how can I live with awareness of soul guidance today? Which small steps honor the messages I have received? How can I respond to signs, dreams, and visions in a way that deepens my connection to myself and the universe? The final step is gratitude. Acknowledging the guidance you receive reinforces your connection to the unseen, strengthens your intuition, and opens channels for further insight. Take a moment each day to thank your soul, your guides, and the universe for the messages, the lessons, and the love that continues to flow toward you. Integration also invites service and sharing. Messages from the soul are not solely for personal gain. They carry wisdom that can inspire, comfort, and guide others. Share your experiences, insights, and reflections. By doing so, you create a ripple effect, allowing your own connection to the unseen to benefit the world around you. Consider this. A man repeatedly dreams of a tree whose roots spread into the earth and branches reach the sky. Through reflection, he understands it symbolizes balance, growth, and connection. He begins a personal practice of mindfulness, nature walks, and journaling. Eventually, he shares his practice with a small community, helping others cultivate awareness, insight, and alignment. What began as a personal dream becomes a shared source of guidance and inspiration. Finally, remember that integration is a lifelong journey. Dreams, visions, and signs will continue to appear, each carrying new lessons, guidance, and insight. By practicing mindfulness, reflection, intuition, and action, you create a life aligned with the soul's wisdom. You honor the unseen, respect the messages, and embrace the transformative potential of your inner guidance. Your soul speaks in whispers, visions, and dreams. Life responds in patterns, synchronicities, and subtle signs. To integrate these messages is to live consciously, to honor the unseen, and to step fully into your own path. Listen, act, reflect, and share, and let the guidance of your soul illuminate every moment.